Barkley Howard, Barkley Chai, Kawai Howard, Kawai Chai, Barkley Kadash. Then we're going to the other parts of the world. Since I take the ark and put to the truth, it will have the four corners of the earth. To the spirit of glory, Yahweh, Barkley Chai. And in the hope will let. Who the word Italy called God and Yahweh, who the word Italy called Jesus Christ, and Yahweh Shai, with the Hebrew Israelite, assistant to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, those in line descendant, go back to the 12 tribe of Israel. Due to the gathering amongst the nations across the four corners of the earth. This is Mahoney Call for the Great Military Los Angeles camp of the Inland Empire region back when the elections. I would not like Lord will be edifying to the spirit of power Yahweh, Baha Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shah Kakadash, which is the Holy Spirit. And this is the CEO of the Institute for Sustainability Leadership, Lydia Snooper, saying that water, soil, and oxygen should not be infinitely acceptable. She proposes classifying them as assets and placing them on a global balance sheet. It's a damn devil for you. Okay? So these are basic necessities God's given right. Alright? Not for some devil to restrict you of those things and to charge you those things. Alright? That's slavery. Alright? That's a form of slavery. Right there. We know this is more economic form. Geez, see the background. And we know that's what Esau want to do to put everybody in a digital enslavement. Alright? They're going to want to restrict you from what you can do. Own nothing and be happy. Alright? It's their motto. But to put them in a balance sheet, the devil got something else. You know, let's play this.
When we talk about capital, we tend to think only about financial capital, about cash, financial assets, but we know that's not the only value on which our economies depend. We know that every aspect of every part of the economy is fundamentally dependent on the which you highlighted. The air that we breathe, the water we drink, the soil, the oceans that we need for the food that we need to consume, the minerals that we need as inputs to technology and to infrastructure. And without these forms of value, these forms of natural capital, we won't have economies. They are the fundamental building blocks of our economies. But the ways, as you said, the ways in which we have grown our economies, our models of economic development, have been incredibly successful for global prosperity. I mean, but the unintended consequences of current models of growth are simply not sustainable on a finite planet. The amount of resources that we are drawing into our economies, Earth's resources, and the amount of pollution and waste that we're pumping out, whether that's through greenhouse gas emissions, whether that's sewage into our water, whether it's plastics into the ocean, is beyond the Earth's carrying capacity. And we know that that's leading, as you said, to very significant direct impacts for society, but very significant financial costs for the economy. We can look at that if you have and calculate that at a macro level, but the way that that's showing up as we're breaching these boundaries and breaching these limits and undermining nature is showing up in very practical ways that are showing up for financial risk for institutions. Lack of water is leading to disruption of operations of supply chains where water is needed as an essential input for manufacturing or power production. The degradation of soil is leading to reduced agricultural yields. The decline of pollinator species is also having an impact on agriculture. So that's leading to direct financial risks for organisations, for businesses, and ultimately for investors. And she said ultimately the reason for this is at the moment the way that decisions are made on an everyday level within businesses and financial institutions is because we're looking only at financial data, financial metrics that are not factoring in nature. Nature is treated within the economy as though it's unlimited and predominantly as though it's free. And the risks and harms are simply not costed in financial terms. We can cost them at a macro level, they're not costed into day-to-day decision making. And the result is, as a consequence, we've put all of our economies at fundamental risk. We can't do business on a dead planet. If we're going to protect natural systems, one of the solutions is to bring nature onto the balance sheet, to bring nature into the ways that decisions are made within business. When we talk,
No, it's why. It's another reason why each all you need to be destroyed. Talk about bring it to a balance sheet. These two people gotta stay. Water, soil, oxygen are from God. Well, fuck off. They act like they own everything. Hey, the curses, I mean, their blessings, that's the foolishness. Right? Because after Esau with the planet, right? Because Esau gave up his birthright for food, and Isaac already had blessed. And he already had blessed Jacob, who just died some stuff at Esau. Right? Now, this is Genesis 27 and 34, and when Esau heard the word of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with the subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. He said, It is not rightly named Jacob, for he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright. And behold, now he didn't take your birthright. You gave it up. Now he had taken away my blessing. And he said, Had thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him with servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right. Cheese, lots of birds. Finally, his father understand that the hell you will live away from the riches of the earth and away from the dew of the heaven of the people above. Alright, he control the earth right now. Alright? And through him controlling the earth, that becomes a curse unto the people. Alright? The earth is under bad management right now. Alright? And that's why it's not easy to be taken out of the way. The earth to be put back in good management. Alright? Be the Israelite. Alright? The government body. 144,000 to govern the earth the correct way. Alright? According to the law, statutes, commandments. Now I'm gonna get let's just say not the earth goes in the hand of the wicked, but the other scriptures. Revelation. Revelation. Alright. Chapter 6. Take away peace away from the earth. Like part of that peace being taken away. Alright. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. Another horse that was red, that was an Ethel eagle. The power was given to him that thereon take peace from the earth. Right? And that's part of that peace being taken from the earth. They're controlling the resources and telling you that it needs to be put in a balance sheet. Alright? It's charged and restricted these things. You know? It's a basic necessity. Right? It's throughout Ecclesiasticus 29 and 21. The chief things for life is water, and bread, and clothing, and a house to cover shame, right? To cover the nakedness and shame. You know, it's cheap, it's all the economical principles. These are the primary principal things you need in life to sustain yourself. You thought talk about sustainability for the earth. No, it's plentiful. There's plenty of water, bread, and clothing on the earth. Please. You know, just don't gotta go. You know, all that part of that unrighteous decree and colonial measure, all that. But it should be taken out the way. The enterprise shall not stand. All this shall not last. So that's